Okay, let's talk about what it really means to go through an identity death, especially when it's linked with your money, your business, your relationship, or your reputation. Like these are the areas where I see people want to preserve the control the most. All right. And the other part of this is that it's terrifying when you don't have a plan B and you have to like jump into the void. But the catch here is that if you don't let the old version of you die fully, the new version of you can't be born. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, this is part one of like a two-part episode, basically, because the first part of this I want to get into is the death of your identity. The second part is the void. All right, so I'm going through this right now, literally in this moment. And because my business and my personal life are so linked, this happens a lot, seasonally and things like that, where, you know, it's like it's happening in both places simultaneously. So number one, I feel like the most important thing I have to say here is that no matter how much you don't trust this, no matter how scared you are to let go, no matter how much you're like, oh my God, I need to know the answer in advance. I need to like have guarantees. I need to see the whole outline of my future before I make the change. It doesn't work like that, you guys. So it's safe to let the old version of you die. Like plants have to die to be reborn. Like in nature, things have to die to come back to life. We're in the fall season in the Northern Hemisphere. All the leaves are changing. They're falling off the trees. It's like, it really is a natural cycle. So when you resist nature and you cling to what wants to leave or what wants to transform, you suffer. Okay? Buddhist number one truth, like life is suffering, but what makes you suffer? Clinging, attachment. Okay? It's one of the three poisons that perpetuate our suffering actually as a collective, as humans. So number one, it's safe to let it go. I know you might be like, bitch, are you crazy? Actually, I am crazy. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to be fucking crazy too. Okay. But besides that, you're not broken if your identity is changing. You're evolving. Okay. And this is the part that I think a lot of us misinterpret, and we start thinking like we're failing. We're like, oh my God, the spark is leaving, or I'm not feeling inspired anymore. I'm a failure. And it's like, maybe you've just outgrown it. I have gone through oh my God, I couldn't even name the number of times that I've gone through a death of an identity or tried to like hold on to something that used to work that isn't working anymore. So right now it's another identity death, and it's not so cut and dry in that way. It feels more like an internal shift of just being ready to do things in a different way. But like I said, sometimes it's really obvious, and then sometimes it's more subtle. And you develop this discernment to know when to cut ties and when to like let things go through your spiritual practice. You have to go inward. You got to get to know yourself. And also the only way that you build confidence, you guys, to do this and self-trust is by taking the steps. Like even if it's small steps, there is no way out of this but through it, you guys. Like people will be like, how do you do this all the time? Why are you like the queen of pivoting? Because I've done it enough times and the universe keeps showing me and my karma keeps showing me, yes, you were meant to grow. Yes, we will replace what you were clinging to with something better or something different. So it's like that meme or that picture, if you guys have ever seen it, and it's like an angel or something, like let's say God or whatever in the picture. And there's like a little kid holding on to its teddy bear. It's like a tiny little teddy bear, and the little kid is like clinging to it, and the angel's like holding this like huge teddy bear behind his arms, but it's like the kid won't let go of the little baby teddy bear, even though something so much bigger and better is trying to be given. If your hands are full, you won't be able to receive it. And that's what it feels like. You feel like you're jumping off a cliff, and your nervous system, if you don't have a practice like meditation, like you guys, I would never, ever, ever in a million fucking years be able to do the big changes and big leaps of faith and do any of the things that I'm able to do over the last couple of years without a meditation practice and without also like applying these Buddhist concepts more recently, because they're more radical, but it allows for more room to grow. When you start applying a concept like emptiness, where you're like, wow, okay, things don't have a self-existent nature coming from their own side. It's actually dependent on me and my perception. So the pain that I'm feeling of a loss of income is not actually coming from the loss of income. It's coming from seeds in my mind and it's a projection, and I'm putting it on the money today, but then tomorrow it's something else, and this can change, and things are changeable, and whatever. The conversation about karma and emptiness is a bigger one, so we can do that elsewhere. But do you know what I mean? Like, as I started to apply these higher level concepts to understand, okay, the pain that I'm feeling isn't coming from the money self-existently, because sometimes you have a lot of money and you feel confident, and sometimes you have a lot of money and you still feel stressed out. And there are millionaires that are really happy, and there are millionaires that are fucking miserable. And so it's not just about the money. Same thing in your love life. You know, you think the pain is coming from your partner or whatever they're doing, but then it's always changing. It's in flux. It's impermanent. So it's like, it's not actually coming from the partner self-existently. You're perceiving it that way today. Then maybe your perception changes. You've had 100,000 experiences of this person. A stranger meets them. They have a different perception. Like, as you start to apply this stuff and it becomes more expansive, at first it's going to be triggering probably, because you're going to want to cling to your small self. You're going to want to cling to these old ideas. And then it's liberating to let go of those small identities, because you realize, wow, there's actually so much more potential here. But your mind, your logic, your fear, your insecurity, your self-doubt, that's what cuts you off at the past. That's what keeps you in this like limbo where you're like, half in, half out. I talked about this in my last podcast episode about half-assing it and where that's going to get you. Not very far. So this like lack of clarity and not knowing what's coming next, it's just an impossible thing. It's like you just have to be with it. Life is full of unknowns, you guys. If you get too attached to needing to have all the answers, you will stagnate, most definitely. You block yourself from great opportunities too, because you just won't take a risk. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm saying you build confidence by doing shit, you guys. You build self-trust by taking the steps to learn to trust yourself. There is no magic pill, all right? It's not just gonna like drop out of the sky. And, you know, again, what keeps people stuck most of the time is fear of the unknown, losing money or income, losing their status, fear of losing validation, losing people's approval, and losing control. Like I said, why did I try to cling to an old business identity when I knew that I had in some ways outgrown it? It was simply because, like I said, for a time, it was successful. So it's like you try to keep repeating your success in these ways, and then you end up actually getting stuck. And lastly, it's like, how do you move through this death period and stay sane and stay grounded and actually like be able to process and integrate a change like this without like totally collapsing into overwhelm and avoidance and self-sabotage? Again, there's no perfect blueprint, but what I will say is that you have to, I think so much of the spiritual path in general is about being with paradoxes and being with opposing opinions and like being able to hold the tension of opposites. I mean, Buddhism is literally the middle way. Okay, so like what I study in the lineage I study, which is the highest school of Buddhism, and on the Mahayana path, it's the school of the Dalai Lama. You're in the middle way. You're like, there's this truth, there's this other truth, and then there's this thing in the middle. And so you learn to be with the discomfort. You learn to be with the not knowing. You learn to not cling to needing to know, and you open yourself up to more possibilities. And like I said, the only way I could do this is through meditation practice, and Buddhist meditation is really, really methodical. The school I study is like of logic and consequence, and it's the highest school of Buddhism. So it's like the most radical, but it's also, I feel it's the path of Buddhahood. So it offers you the opportunity to apply a different perspective, to start to see things differently, and to be able to be with two truths at once and not totally collapse. That is a practice. Like I said, I don't think anybody can do this immediately. It takes repetition. It takes consistency. And the thing about these types of meditations is that they change your karma at the root, you guys. Your karma is changeable. It's not fixed. Just like people are not fixed in identity and in their nature, like, and it's not coming from their own side, it's coming from your mind and from a projection. It can change for the better, but you have to like purify the things that aren't working. You have to plant those like new seeds in your mind, basically, and that's how you get a new result. So that's why I've been studying Buddhism for several years now, okay? And it was when I started doing these practices that my life really took a turn for the better, but it was messy before it got clearer. And it's going through another shift right now. And I'm just about to take another set of vows in November. and I'm up leveling, and guess what? Things are changing. It's no shock to me. I'm actually not really surprised. I kind of expected this. I anticipated it this time. It's not always like that. But now I have the tools, and I can help you guys have the tools to navigate every single client that's come to me, you guys. And I'm not even joking. Every single one of them has come for one reason. They're like, oh, my relationship just ended. Oh, I want to change my job, something like that. And inevitably, every single person, number one, goes through a plot twist. Something unexpected happens. I'm warning you. I tell people this when they apply for mentorship. Expect the unexpected. My energy is definitely very activating. I can't explain it. It's like a catalyst energy. So when people come in and they start to work with me, things start to change really fast. I'm not saying everything works out perfectly, quickly in your ego's timing. I'm saying things start to change really fast. So I've walked people through the end of a relationship, a sudden breakup, the end of an engagement, unexpected job loss, getting fired, or they just suddenly make a big financial commitment and then they lose a client or they lose their job. Like this, or suddenly they have to move houses and they weren't planning on doing it in a year and now it happens in 4 weeks. Like these are the testimonials that I have from my one-to-one mentorship and from my group mentorship. So it's like, it's no shock to me that when you say yes to change, things will start to realign in your life. But like I said, the only way that you're going to be able to stay grounded, and like I said, I've walked people through really big, scary transitions, and they didn't even see it coming. I'm intuitive, so sometimes I do see things coming, and I warn them. I see you moving soon. No, I have no plans to move. Boom, 2 weeks later, they get the notice. Me and this person are going to get married. It's like, I think they're probably going to break up like really soon. And then all of a sudden they get dumped. It's like, it's a gift. And you know what I mean? It's also the willingness to hear the truth and be able to roll with the unexpected. But what I will say is that, again, there's no way for something new to be born until you let the old die. And it's one of my favorite things to support people with because it is so scary when you're first going through this. The more you do it, the easier it gets. It's still uncomfortable, but it's not terrifying. Do you know what I mean? Not for me anymore. Just saying. It hasn't been like that for a few years, but that's only with practice. So yeah, I just wanted to share that today because I do feel like a lot of people are going through this. Just checking the time. A lot of people are going through this and they have no fucking idea where to start. And I'm just saying, a spiritual practice, the correct kind of spiritual practice, not just love and light, not just like sitting there wishing for things to be better. Like I said, I'm using Buddhism because it's pretty hardcore. And with that hardcore energy of like heavy metal Buddhism, you're getting like radical, amazing potential for change. Growth that you never even saw coming. So if you are in this liminal space or you feel like you're on the verge of an identity death, or you're like, man, what she's saying is true, but I am so scared, or like, oh, I don't know. If you want someone to walk over the threshold with you, I would love to be that person. So you guys can apply. I've got 2 spots open before the end of the year for private mentorship. Actually, one of them is filled. So I definitely have 1 more, potentially 2 more spots open. For mentorship for the rest of 2025, it'll be 3-month minimum, but we can go longer. And the application for that is below. And otherwise, yeah, I'm sending you guys so much love. There is a part 2 to this episode coming. So look out for that next Sunday. And I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.